This is the first ever LEGO Fantastic Four set. So after 13 years of waiting, we finally have the four in LEGO form. This is based on the upcoming movie Fantastic Four: The First Steps, and it released June 1st. The set contains 427 pieces, and here are the retail prices. So pretty expensive, so let's find out if it's worth it. For builds, we get a big brick-built Galactus, who's a character I really want to get since the LEGO Marvel Superheroes game, as that was such a fun boss fight as a kid. And then we get 4 minifigures of each member of the Fantastic Four, as you could probably imagine. So let's begin by taking a closer look at them. And up first, we have the leader of the team, Mr. Fantastic, or Reed Richards. He's played by Pedro Pascal in the movie. He actually has a brand new face print, which I think is actually a really nice design. A great new torso print. I really like their suit design in the movies. Very nice printing on the front and the back. And he does have a second facial expression of a slightly even bigger smirk. So a pretty decent minifigure, but unfortunately, no dual molded legs, so the legs look kind of bare, which is a bit of a shame. As I think if each member of the four had dual molded legs, it would really elevate the figures quite a lot. He does, however, come with some stretchy legs, which are an okay build. They're just literally 2 pieces, but at least there's something. And I guess technically he does have the boots there, so. And he also doesn't have the grey in the hair, which is another disappointment, especially when they could have just reused the Doctor Strange piece. So certainly not a bad minifigure. There's lots of room for improvements. Small changes like boots and the hair would have gone a long way, but the face and torso print are really nice. The next up, let's go with the Invisible Woman, or Sue Storm. She has a different torso print with white around the collar, which is the same that Johnny and Ben also have. Reused face print, but I think it works pretty well for Vanessa Kirby. And once again, no leg printing or dual molded boots. She does have a second facial expression and some decent back printing. She also comes with these 2 disc pieces to represent her force field powers, which isn't anything too interesting, but at least it is something. So she is a pretty nice minifigure, but like Reed's, with a few changes, she could have been perfect. I would love to see some translucent legs, like what they do with Vision in Avengers Tower. Then on to probably my least favorite minifigure from the set, we have the Human Torch, or Johnny Storm. He uses the same torso print as Sue, and he has a reused face print. I do love the hair in this blonde color, though it looks really good. I'm not sure how accurate it is to Joseph Quinn in the film, but looks very much like the comics, which I appreciate. But unfortunately, the face is a little bit disappointing. And personally, I was really hoping Johnny would be in the Flame On form. It just makes him look so much cooler and more unique. Or maybe at least even having a new face print where one side is normal, then the other side has some flame eyes, just to make him a little bit more interesting looking. And like all the minifigures, he could have done with dual molded boots. And overall, Johnny not being in the Flame On form was probably my biggest disappointment from this set. But maybe in the Doomsday one, he will be. And then finally, we have Ben Grimm, or the Thing, who's my personal favorite member of the team. He has a brand new head mold with the rocky eyebrows and head. It's a really great new mold. I love the rock texturing of it. He also has a new face print, which is really well detailed, and it's also double-sided. One with a more neutral expression and one with a more angry expression. And then probably the weirdest thing about him is his big brick hands. They just don't work for me personally. They just look way too oversized. I understand what LEGO was going for, but I think he would have been much better off being a big fig, or even a medium-sized figure like Hagrid with a new torso mold. But in terms of the Thing being a minifigure, this is probably the best they could have done. And hopefully one day we will get a bigger variation of this guy. Or maybe one day we get a shirtless variation with some arm printing that could also look a lot better. So not a bad minifigure, he just looks a little bit weird and disproportional. And that is it for our minifigures. I think they're decent. However, with a few changes, these minifigures could have been really perfect. Dual molded boots, Johnny in the Flame On form, and then making these things slightly bigger. But after 13 years, I'm super excited to get the Fantastic Four in LEGO form, and hopefully we get a comic book version, as well as some more variations in Doomsday. But now let's move on to the best part of the set, which is the Galactus brick-built figure. So with this set only having 427 pieces, I was worried that Galactus would look a little bit disappointing and be on the smaller side. However, I think he actually looks fantastic, pun not intended. He looks straight ripped out from the movie and the comic books. I absolutely love the design they've used for him. It's a great purple color, and then in terms of height, he's 28 centimeters tall, so a really good size for the character, as he can grow and shrink in the comics, and probably in the film as well. Then taking a closer look at the detailing. For the face, we get a printed piece luckily, so that's not a sticker. It's a really great face design, and I love the helmet build. Then he has a sticker on the torso with the circle piece. And then he has a few stickers on the waist. And as they were on pretty big pieces, they weren't too bad to put on. And they really add a lot of detailing to the fig. So really nice stickers and a really fantastic face. And in terms of articulation, his head is on a ball joint so it can rotate 360 degrees, as well as he can look up and down. He can also rotate 360 degrees at the waist. Then his arms are also on a ball joint, but they're blocked a little bit by these shoulders. But you can move them forwards and backwards and a little bit to the side. His arm also bends at the elbow, and then you can open and close his fingers and twist his hands around. So his upper body has lots of articulation, so has a few different posing options. And then taking a look at the legs, if we move the waist pieces, you can move the legs to the side as well as forwards, but they are blocked a little bit. He can also bend at the knees, as well as his feet are on a ball joint. So you can try to put him into some different poses, but he is unfortunately quite top heavy, so he is a little bit unstable, so he wouldn't be able to do anything too crazy. But for a brick built minifigure, I think it's really well done, and you can certainly give him some cool dynamic poses while he's fighting the Fantastic Four. And then taking a quick 360 look at the figure, he looks really good from the side, and the back is a little bit bare, but there's not too much you can do with that. So overall, he just looks absolutely incredible. Such a cool design, and after 13 years, Galactus does not disappoint. And then finally, just have a few pegs around his body where you can connect the minifigures. You can connect Thing to the feet, Sue to his arms. He can also grab minifigures, as he has a peg on his palm. And then on the back, we can connect this translucent piece and have Johnny flying around the back. And he also comes with some flame pieces you can attach to his feet. And I think with the minifigures all attached, it makes the set look so much cooler. I love the look of them all teaming up to fight Galactus. And that is pretty much it for Fantastic Four vs. Galactus construction figure. Now, as a massive Marvel and Fantastic Four fan, I've been waiting for this set for 13 years. And I think overall it doesn't disappoint, but it definitely has a few issues. The minifigures are slightly lackluster. They really could have done with a little bit of detail like the dual molded boots, as well as maybe a few more molds for the Thing and having Johnny being in flame on form. As well, the price is a little bit expensive for what you get. So would I recommend this set? Yes. However, I would wait to get it on a discount. I think if you can get $10-15 off, it's a much better price. And that is it for the set. Let me know what you think. Will you be picking it up? Have you already picked it up? And are you excited about the new movie? As always, I hope you enjoyed the review. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.